right, welcome everyone to a new month, a new workout. My name is P1 Fit, Player 1 Fit, Travis, and we got ourselves a little Spider-Man themed workout today. We're going to go through a very beginner-friendly, experiential, and introductory inclusive workout here. Our goal here is to immortalize a bit of the movements of Spider-Man, Miles Morales being kind of the focus for this month. As well as have some fun in movement, as well as get some full body movement going in here as well. So the workout will last about 20 minutes, 22 or so. I recommend getting a little bit of movement in before to kind of warm up or to mobilize, feel a little bit better in whatever way you need to. For some, that might be just be marching in place. For some, it's stretching and mobilizing in whatever ways feel right for you. But we're going to just jump right on into the work. We got 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of recovery and 7 movements per round, incorporating everything from ground work, standing work, core work, back work, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to show the movements really quickly, and then I'm just going to hit start and get going. So if you want to, you can always fast forward to the actual start of the workout. As always, if you have any equipment that you would like to use, if you want to progress or regress the movements further, I will give you some options along the way to be able to do so. You can, of course, take any of these timings and you can manipulate it and make it work for you as well if you'd like to have less rest or more rest. It is your workout, make it yours, okay? So your movements will look like this today. Our first one is a transverse squat. Transverse really means that we're just moving in this rotational plane. So I'm going to take a squat, which is a movement that we've done before, or a movement that maybe you have done before, and I'm going to take it to this rotating movement. And if you've watched any of the Spider-Man movies, you always know there's this like little setup kind of look that Spider-Man has. So we're going to rotate out, get into this low squat, and come back in. Get into a kind of a fighting stance and back. And we're just going to be rotating out into this transverse squat or transverse lunge in a way. We got inchworms, or you can use any spider pun here if you want. Standing with a little bit of room in front of you, we squat and walk one hand over the other as we get out to a plank position. Now from this point, what I'd love us to do is to be able to walk our feet in very quickly and right back out into plank. As an option, of course, you come down to the knees, walk into all fours, walk back, and then I go hand over hand back into my squat position, using a couch, using a wall, whatever I need to help myself up. We have forward and back thwip lunges. What does that look like? I'm going to take a step forward. I'm going to bend both knees a little bit. I'm going to reach forward as I send out my webbing. What I do from here is I'm going to yank back, pull back, and then step back into this lunge, or into a back lunge. So it'll go forward and then step back into the back lunge. Now I'm taking the webbing and I'm keeping my back contracted. So you should feel shoulder blades and the back turn on as well. Okay. No worries, Alexis. Foot fires. Now we got some fast agility work. So fast feet. We're going to be going forward and back, and then out and in, out and in. Okay, you can do this however you need to. I will give you some cues. Think of it like your spider sense. Your spider sense will tingle. I'll tell you which one will do, forward or out and in, and then you respond. Next, we have spider planks. Spider planks on the knees. We're going to come down onto our forearms. Okay, draw our belly in. And the goal here is to take hand out, hand out. Now this is going to create some tension in through the core, and this may be difficult. So what you can do is you can be on the wall, and then I extend hand out and extend hand out. And then I'm holding myself with my hands away from my body, which is turning on the core a bit more. If you feel this in the back, bring your hands a little bit closer to your shoulders, okay? Our last movement, back extensions with alternating web swings. So here, I'm onto the stomach, I squeeze the butt, I lift my chest up, I'm going to take my hands out and I'm going to alternate. One in, one in, one in, one in. So visualize that you're grabbing onto your webbing, pulling and swinging across the skies of New York or whatever city. Okay, I keep my butt tight, I keep my back extended, and my chest above the floor. Okay? This is an understatement. All right, let's rock on into this one. We're going to get started. If you have any questions or anything, send them into chat, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can always join us live at Twitch and ask in person as well. Otherwise, let's get on into it. Transverse squats, 30 seconds incoming. 3 rounds. I'm gonna get set up with feet facing forward. And then once I rotate out, get into my fighting Spider-Man stance. I rotate out, squat down, and back in. Rotate out, squat down, and back in. Now I can keep my chest turning out slightly, but you should notice that both knees come out and my hips come down. This little bit of a rotation that's happening in through the hips just allows our hips to explore through external and internal movement and contractions. Instead of just focusing on the squat down and up, we're now moving in ways that our body moves normally. Rest. 30 seconds. Not bad. Inchworms. So you got a full 30 seconds to rest. Now for some of us, we may need a little bit more or a little less. There's no shame in that whatsoever. Everybody starts in different places in their fitness journey, so take what you need. My goal here is to allow you enough time to rest so when you work, you can explore and then push the movement. All right, so feet outside, inchworms. Squat down, one hand over the other. Get out to a full plank. I step my feet in like I'm crawling, wall crawling, and then I walk my hands back and rise. Down, one hand over the other. Walk the feet in, brace the abs, and walk back out. Remember your option, which is down. I come down to the knees as I walk my hands out. I bring the knees in a little bit closer. Maybe the knees I can get off the ground, maybe not. And I walk back and take the hands. Okay, so visualize it's your crawling. It's your web crawling, wall crawling. All right, rest. Take water, recovery, whenever you need them. And then whenever you can get back into it, we're getting back into it. All right, yeah, one more movement. Now we're just going to start to, now we're going to feel the intensity push a little bit. Ooh, I forgot to do the wall, Spider-Man wall push-ups. That's okay, we'll do that. All right, so we're going to alternate these. All right, so choose whatever leg you want to start with. Forward step, whip out forward, and then push off this front foot, step back, and it goes back as I pull. Then back in. Step, pull, and back in. Step, pull, and back in. So again, from the side, I'll show. We go step, I reach out, and then I pull back, and I step back. Hey, welcome, welcome. So reach out, whip, pull, yank, and reset. Step out, pull, yank, and step back in. This one's a cool one because it actually gets you to feel a little like the real Spider-Man. Bobby, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. And if, again, you're watching here on YouTube as well, join us live, Twitch. We're always here for you. All right, Spider-Man push-ups. You can do these on the ground, but I'm going to show you how to do these on the wall first. Let's get rid of this. Much love. Yeah. Welcome in. How'd you find us? Nice. So here's what we'll do. We're going to do a push-up and bring one leg forward, one leg up. Okay, so now I'm leaning. One knee comes out, push up, and back. Now, this is a tough movement to do on the floor, which is why we use the wall to start out with. And if it's still a little difficult, bring your body a little bit more parallel to the wall. Okay? You'll actually turn this into a little bit of a core movement or hip flexor movement as well. The Spider-Man's always brings it in. Yeah, all right, rest, rest, rest. As we progress through this, of course, we'll show some options of where you can take it. But again, my goal here is really just to give you movements that you can feel successful with. And then from there, sky's the limit. But for many of us, we need a place to start. And this is where that place is. All right, Spider-Man, I don't know about you, but is very fast, very agile. So let's get rid of this. So we're going to work on that. We've got fast feet. So we're on our feet. We're going to go forward and back. So just start forward and back. I go forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Doesn't have to be much. Maybe find a line that you can get over. And then your spider sense starts to tingle. Out and in, out and in. So I go out and in, out, out and in, out, out and in, out, out and in, out, out and in. Wait for the tingle, wait for the tingle, the Peter tingle. Forward and back. So now go forward and back. Forward and back. Take rest when you need it. This is the cardio movement. All right, rest. Rest. Only 30 seconds. Once we get started, don't worry. When I explain these less moving forward, you'll have somewhere to go with it. All right, spider planks. My recommendation is to do these not on the floor to start out with. Maybe do these like on a bench or on a chair or with elevation of some kind. So here's how I'll start it. I'm going to be down here. I'm going to be bracing the abs. And then my goal is to take the hands out and press through the hands through straight arms. And then I'll come back in. And then out, out. And then brace. We want to be really reactive in our core. If you feel your low back sagging, then you need your hands a little bit more underneath the shoulders. Okay? And that's okay too. Let me show it from here. I'm here. And I go out, out. And I'm pressing down through the floor. Or I'm a little bit closer underneath myself. Or I'm using the wall. Okay? All right, rest. One more. One more new move. Back extensions with web swings. I'm proud of this movement. Just visualize yourself floating through the air. So I'm here. I'm going to squeeze my butt. I'm going to gently lift my chest off the ground. I can keep one hand down at a time to help support my upper back. Oh, I need to bring this down a little bit so you can see. But then we alternate arms coming in, which looks like this. I'm going to swing and pull, swing and pull, swing and pull, swing and pull. The whole time, my glutes are staying solid. Okay, if I need to, I bring this hand down and I give myself a little support, but I try to keep my chest off the ground. That little side crunch or side bend as you're pulling down, getting all those big back muscles involved in the movement. All right, rest. Recover. You got a minute. Got a full minute now. Which actually I need to take this down to 30. There we go. So we got 30 seconds at the end of that round, 30 seconds at the end of the set. What I recommend, grab a quick sip of water. Whew. And we'll get ready for our next round. Now for our next round, you can intensify the movements. You can change the movements. I like to do things multiple times because the first time, let's be honest, is you just kind of getting a feel for it, kind of understanding what the movement is. The next round, you can get a better kind of idea of where you need to be. And the third time, we can push ourselves. So this time, there'll be slightly less coaching and allow you to find a pace or something that gets you into the work. Transverse squats. Ready? Turn out and set. Turn out and set. Now, I'm adding in the old Spider-Man kind of stance into it just because I want to. I always loved that in the movies before they go into like the final stand, like in Avengers Endgame. I always think of Tom Holland's carrying Avengers, and he sets up in this very Spider-Man kind of pose. All right, rest. Whew. The idea is that just by moving, the heart rate's going to lift. So if you're not feeling like any sort of burn or sensations throughout the rest of the body, that's okay. Sometimes our body are pieces of our body are in different spaces. Our cardio may be a little more or less trained, and one part will have to catch up with the others. So don't overthink it. Don't think, oh, well, I'm not feeling it where the area. If you're still feeling something, then that's fine. All right, inchworms. So I squat. I walk one hand over the other. I drop my knees down. I can walk the feet into this crawling position, walk it back out, and then take the hands out. Inchworm is such a great movement from a strength standpoint, from a warming up, from a mobility standpoint. D, what's up, man? Welcome on in. And rest. And rest. Whew. All right. So now we're moving into our forward backstepping whip lunges. Now get ready. You may have some different ways that you want to. You choose. You choose. All that matters is you step forward and back with the same leg. So I'm going to take the whip out of it right now just so you can see. Forward lunge. Forward step. It doesn't have to bend down as much. You can take this partial lunge, and then I push off that front foot, and I bend back on the other. If you need to, you may also need to take a pit stop here in the middle, and then step back. Totally cool. Totally cool. So I'm out here, bam! I take my pit stop, and then I yank in. And I switch legs. catch, pit stop, step back. And again, modified further, I step forward and I step back. I step forward, oh no. I gotta stop yanking these and breaking them. I already broke one set a couple days ago. All right, rest. Rest or stress. We've been in rest for a little bit. I missed that phase. Spider-Man push-ups on the wall. 10 seconds. Remember, hands right outside the shoulders. Bringing myself towards the wall and lifting knee. Let's go. Your option, of course, come down onto the knees and you do the same thing, but this is definitely a big step up. So you can always bring that box, that chair, the bed, the couch, whatever you got here. And this gives you a way to progress the movement while still making it manageable. Because again, gravity is what the challenge is. So when I'm standing against the wall, I have a lot less gravity pulling with my chest. All right, rest. When I go down to the floor, I have nothing but gravity pulling my body weight down into the push-up. But if I elevate slightly, I have a little less gravity pulling me just straight down. So take pride or ownership or whatever in making these adjustments work for you. All right, we've got the foot fires. So a little bit of the cardio now, 30 seconds. Let's start. Peter Tingle, out and in, out and in, out and in. So out, out, and in, out, out, and in, out, out, and in, out, out, and in. Yo, Rocket, what's up? Out, out, and in, out, out, and in. Change it, forward and back, forward, back, back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Switch it up if you want to. Shout out to Rocket, another fitness streamer here as well. And again, if you're watching on the YouTube this video later, come check us out on Twitch. Always happy to talk you through some stuff. All right, rest. As we all navigate through our own little fitness journeys. Oh man, there's a little like ball of hair that showed up on my mat. And I thought it was a spider, and it was pretty large, and so it was really freaking me out as we were coaching through this. But we're good. We're good. Every once in a while, whoa! But let's get that out of there. All right, we got spider planks. Again, so I can start like so, elbows into the ground, and then watch. I go hands out, out. And I hold myself in. When my hands are extended like this, gravity is now trying to pull me down. I'm using my core as well as my arms to hold myself up. And then I lower back down to this hover. Use elevation or down to the ground into your spider planks. And then try to be silent as you move. Silent as you move. Controlled. All right, rest. Rest, rest, rest. Uh-oh. Yeah. The whole word is, where's my bam, 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 bam? It's actually the reason I haven't put a horn in here. I was like, that's their thing. We'll give that to him. All right, we're into our last movement. Last movement, then we got one more round through this one. So, stomach to the ground. Squeeze the butt and get ready to web swing. So again, this has got to stay tight. This helps support the spine. I do not want you just extending with this all loosey-goosey. So keep it tight. Clench the butt. Push through the toes. And I reach one hand out. I swing and pull in. Reach the other hand out. Swing and pull in. Well, once I pull in, I can put that hand to the ground. Okay? So I'm just kind of helping myself as I'm holding this back extension. Getting a little bit of lateral movement as well. And rest. All right. We're getting it. Getting it. All right, rest and recover. You got a minute. I will say that at this point that you're at as well, hydrate. Cheers, by the way. Well done. At this point of your movement, you may be looking at that time and be like, wow, 14 minutes, and I'm kind of gassed out. Cool. Your workout's done. Don't worry about it. Don't stress over it. The most important thing is that we get started and we make it successful for ourselves. Sometimes we have a tendency, this is the New Year's resolution kind of feels, that we take on too much all at once. Some people can be successful at that, some people can't. So just be mindful. Sometimes it's nice to redevelop kind of a positive relationship with movement by not waiting to the moment where you hate yourself to stop. Get yourself to the place where you're like, whew, I'm warm. I'm sweating a little bit. You know what? I'm good. And then maybe some days you're like, ooh, I'm going to push. And other days you're like, I'm good. It'll help you to reestablish what that relationship is for you in movement. Maybe not hate it so much. All right, transverse squats. Last one. Let's go for it. So we got round 3. Anybody in for round 3? I want to see just a little extra depth. So maybe a little bit more down and up in your squat. A little bit more turning out of the legs. A really kick-ass stance in your Spider-Man stance. The old Marvel Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom stance. All right, rest. Inchworms. Again, knees, toes. Crawling is actually still a great movement to practice. So if you're thinking like, man, Travis, I really have to kind of like get down to the ground and crawl out, guess what? That's still movement. And if we're looking at a Spider-Man workout, if there's one time that I really want you to crawl in a workout, it's probably going to be the Spider-Man workout where we have a lot of crawling. And you can change the movement however you need to. I come down, I'm on the knees, I walk the hands out to plank, I walk it back in, I use my couch, I use my chair, the wall, whatever it is, and I help myself back up. Be where you need to be. And then, of course, I like to add on some of these extra little progressions sometimes just to show you where you can take the movement. All right, rest. Because sometimes it's just the slightest things, the littlest things can change up the whole workout for you. You don't have to, I don't know, read a magazine to find the one movement to do. Just do a movement and then move your body in some different ways. You'll be like, ooh, I'm ready for that. Or no, I'm not ready for that. All right, forward back with the whip. Ready? Let's go. Switch. Whip. Pull. Switch. Now, if you want to, you can sound effect it. Here you go. But don't forget to pull. Keep the chest up, and we pull back. So I'm actually activating. It's one of the only movements that are really getting some back work. Getting back work in an at-home bodyweight workout is really tough to do. So take advantage of these little bodyweight movements, these contractions that'll help you with that. All right, rest. Spider-Man wall push-up. I can tell I'm used to like really pushing myself when coaching, because no matter what, regardless of how I teach, I naturally will find how to make the movement tougher. So even like doing wall push-ups, I can always, I'll start to speed it up a little bit because I know that I can, and I know that I'm kind of like unconsciously seeking out the workout. But again, remember, you need to be where you need to be. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Again, some of us may have really basic goals when it comes to movement. Like, I don't know. I want to be healthier. I don't know what I don't know. Rest. And if that's the case, then any movement is good. Any sort of movement. Anything that gets you breathing a little bit. Anything that gets you feeling like you're working some muscles or lengthening some things or releasing endorphins, which is just some feel-good chemicals in the brain. So it's only until you start really fine-tuning what that goal is, and then that can dictate a bit of how you move. But still, never lose that little wonder. All right, let's start forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Out and in. Out and in. All right, you're still there. Forward, back. Out and in. Forward and back. Out and in. React. Forward and back. Forward and back. Always tricking. Out and in. And rest. Breathe. I like to put that little cardio kick right in the middle. All right, spider planks. Core. So take your mind, your focus put it here in the midsection. Whether you're on the wall or on the ground. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to start on the ground so you can see this option. And again, I'm drawing through the belly button upward slightly. I'm visualizing, almost think to yourself, if I was to get punched in the stomach right now, how would I kind of react? Ooh, you'd react by kind of like clenching and tightening up to preventatively anticipate that punch. That's how you activate the core. So think, punch to the stomach, and then take the hands out, and you're like, woo! There's some core movement. And again, feel any of this in the back. Then you want to bring your hands a little bit closer to underneath your shoulders. All right, rest. One more movement, and just like that, your movement day, your Sunday, get on to your Sunday, or whatever day it is for you. Here we go, our last little web swing. Let's get ourselves to the Daily Bugle as quick as we can. Jarvis, how old are you again? Don't worry about it. No such thing. No such thing. All right, squeeze the butt, lift the chest, and then swing and pull, swing and pull. I'm taking my elbow and I'm pulling the elbow down towards my rib cage. Pull, 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 pull. And remember, don't hesitate to give yourself a quick second. This might be a lot of work that the low back has not had to do in a while. If we have low back pain or issues with our low back, then movements like this you want to be careful with. Okay, just be mindful, be very aware of how you're feeling, how you're moving. And rest. Woo! Now, if you'd like to, onto the knees and sit your hips back a little bit. Take the hands out, allow your body to come forward. Little forward fold, little child's pose. Take a couple big, deep breaths. And from there, I recommend a couple stretches that feel good for you. Anything for the quads and legs, some twisting maybe for the core and for the back, something with the wall to stretch into the chest, and anything else that you feel good with doing. Again, thanks for coming on by. Hope to see you on Twitch one day, and we'll see you.